Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where today I will try out Bethany and see if we can make it to Mom's heart. That's really the main goal. Bethany is a special character. She starts with a book. If I use it, it creates a small fire that can be destroyed but also shoots tears until it is destroyed, which is nice. Soul hearts do not apply the same way to Bethany. She instead gets item charges for it, and if we find an active item, it is going to somewhat combine with the book and create its own little item-based flame to follow you around and shoot tears with. Some of these are pretty strong, others not so much, but hopefully we're gonna find an active item somewhere during this run, which is going to create an interesting combination of things. Sometimes it's better for the, this is a mom help thing. This card will make hands come out of the sky and grab enemies. You can tell from the way it looks, which is nice. But yeah, low charge active items do become a lot better with this character because of it. Items like Book of Shadows become incredible because with Soul Hearts you'll be able to just keep using Book of Shadows over and over. And if you are struggling against a boss, you can just stack up on shields that way. So there's definitely a couple items which are good. You have to be somewhat careful with the flames, I suppose, because if they touch enemies, they do deal decent damage, but it does make the flames go away. But I will just pick up every soul heart that I can find. This is very much a character where you do kind of need to know your way around the game to play well with, simply because you don't get those soul hearts as protection anymore, so I will actually have to try a bit. These flames are also spectral tears, which is actually quite nice. And I wouldn't actually have minded a few more flames for this room right here, but let's see if we can put all the enemies together. Some of them are running into flames, which is lovely. And honestly, actually, so far this actually went pretty okay. The nice thing about rooms filled with enemies that are all running towards you is that you can just lure them to specific directions and then you won't really have any problems. Just need to make sure that I don't accidentally run into an enemy and lose my flames, because I do like having the extra damage. However, the security from having those flames around me is kind of nice as well, I suppose. Kind of hoping to get maybe some coins here, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen much. We have one bomb and one key, which is not great. And that is Bob's Brain, which... sure, why not? Let's see if I still know how to use this. This might not be the best idea I've ever had, but it is probably among the worst. So, all in all, pretty great. We now have a bomb that we can throw forward and deal a decent amount of damage with. But unfortunately, it is a bomb, so there's a decent chance we are just going to shoot it into ourselves, unfortunately. But we could, for instance, use it against this enemy to blow up that blood donation machine. We got 2 more bombs out of that, and I might just check if my secret room is over here, because I could use the money. Nope. Alright, well, I made an attempt, and I'm gonna just call it a day on that one. I could get that card for basically for free, but that's fine, I suppose. And let's see if Bob's Brain helps against this boss, because these enemies are rather weak to bombs, so having a bomb that you can throw around like that is kind of nice. And it's also part of the Bob transformation. If you get 3 Bob items, you leave some creep around, I believe, so that's kind of okay. But with that, I will just move on. I don't know if this is going to make it to boss rush. Any build that starts with Bob's Brain as a viable option is always a little worrying, but hopefully we can make something happen here. But if you play around Bob's Brain, then most rooms are going to be fine. This is going to allow me to carry 2 things, basically 2 cards or 2 runes or 2 pills or stuff like that, so that's kind of nice. Also, Bob's Brain goes over... I was going to say it goes over pots. It does not, actually. I thought it did. Well, fair enough. At least our flames go over pots, so we don't have to worry about this room too much if we can keep our flames alive. And let's try and do that. We did get everything as terrible the other day, so theoretically we should be having a little bit more of a difficult time with things in general. We might get a few more curses this time around. The build is already becoming not great. And I'm a little concerned about taking pills with this character, I suppose, simply due to the fact that a health down is quite detrimental. You simply do not get the health with this character that you would with others. So probably need to be at least a little bit careful with that, but I'm not going to play it excessively safe today, I don't think. The fact that I haven't taken damage yet makes me feel kind of good about my movement today, so hopefully I can just keep that going. Usually once you get hit once, it starts piling on, but hopefully we can avoid that somehow and just do our best today. That is the strategy, and I will do my best to attain that strategy for the rest of this run. And I actually managed to get the secret room with Bob's brain there, so that is going to save me another bomb, which is nice. I could just blow this one up, and we can go into our curse room for the price of 1 bomb, which is wonderful. 1 more black heart, which is not bad. Struggling a little bit with the invisible enemy there, but overall it worked out. And that's not an enemy I'd like to see. There we go. We managed to get rid of it, but we did lose a couple of flames in the process. My god, that was so close. Also, Bethany does not have Devil Deal chance on the first floor. She instead has Angel Room chance. So if we manage to actually beat the boss without taking damage here, then we will get an Angel Room instead of a Devil Deal, and hopefully there's going to be something good. I don't know how many of the good items in Angel Rooms are unlockables, but I guess we're going to find out today, because I'm just actually going to wait for Bob's brain to come back. And Pin, which is not a bad boss to use Bob's brain against, actually. Also a boss that is rather weak to bombs, so if we can just get 1 hit in there, that is enough, and we get an Angel Room. Binky still gives us tier 8, so that's good, and the wafer is still incredible. So that is actually going to give us a lot of defense, which is very nice. We did get an I Can See Forever pill, so I don't need to look for my secret room using bombs anymore. And that is nice. I wouldn't mind actually using Bob's brain against one of these enemies near the pots to maybe get a quarter or something like that. But instead I will just lose my flame, which didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, but you know what? We'll manage, I'm sure. We still got a couple rooms to go. I did just hear a door open, but I think that was just my secret room again, which is fair enough. Let's see if we can destroy this spider with Bob's brain. The champion does have a little bit more health than the other enemies, but eventually we can also just hit with our tears, I suppose. We have 6 coins, which isn't really worthwhile going into the shop for with this character. 7 is pushing it. Like, technically, we could get an item if it's on sale, but that's really about it. We could put a couple coins in our donation machine, I suppose, but that's more or less our list of options here. But, I don't know. We do have 5 keys, so it wouldn't be too terrible to check it, I suppose. There is a thing. Not really worth going for any of that. That's a few more flames, which is nice. Would like to find an active item, I suppose. We can get... I have 1 bomb. We're not really going to get anything in that room. Yeah, with 1 bomb, I'm not really sure if I want to go for anything here, really. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep on going with the run, I think. So far, things are going okay. The fact that we got the wafer is really nice, because it does mean that we have a lot more options in terms of not dying now, which is kind of nice. The sacrifice room actually becomes a lot better because of it. Wow, that was good. That's a classic Bob's brain moment right there. Not even sure if it was the enemy that blew him up or if it was the flame. Wow, and that's why I didn't want to take pills, really. That's more or less the reason. But fair enough. Larry is also a boss that's quite weak against Bob's brain, so that worked out, I suppose. But I would like to get some health somewhere in this run. The fact that we lost our Devil Deal there kind of sucks. But I do hope that Bob's brain doesn't go directly into flames and that I just didn't notice that the enemy was in a bad place. That is the dream right now, because I am a little bit concerned that Bob's brain is actually just going to kill me if I use flames now. So I'm just gonna try that once. Just put the flame in front of me. Okay, yeah, I must have just hit the enemy there by accident, which is fair enough, I suppose. That does happen. So that's unfortunate. I mean, We probably won't get a Devil Deal or Angel Room this floor then, but it does mean we can be a little bit more dangerous in our choices. But the fact that we also got a health down is not great. However, health down pills do turn into health up pills when you have one heart container remaining, so it might be good for a Devil Deal later in the run. Plus, knowing what pill is what is also pretty useful. This is not bad, because that's really the only damage we've gotten so far. And I'm also a little tempted to actually do that challenge room now, because those golden chests might either contain items, they might also have coins as well, which would be useful now, because any money is going to just give us extra damage with that money equals power. So, might actually try to go for that. We have a Hanged Man card, which we could use to actually go into the curse room. However, there is a full heart waiting for us, so I will just do this instead. Let's just make that happen. Fortunately, this enemy became visible and he was on the other side of the room, which was useful. And we could also use the moon card to leave. Yeah, not against that. Because, yeah, the secret room was bound to be there. So that just puts me back on track. I suppose I could blow up the shopkeeper for possibly some extra money, which would be nice. I'm just gonna open this, I think. A little bit of extra damage there. Let's see if we once again can use Bob's brain to its maximum potential. And therefore not hitting myself with it really is the main goal here. But also doing the challenge room is going to give us a couple charges on our book as well. So if we can manage to not get this flame destroyed, then that is going to be rather useful as well. And so far, Bob's brain is fine. Like, it had one little accident. But overall, I'm still not too disappointed by how things are going. It's definitely not an item for every run, and I still am one of the few people I feel that actually think it's not a terrible item, but it has its moments, I would say. Now, that kinda... it gave us a couple coins. It mostly made us lose keys, which is not fantastic, but, I mean, what are you gonna do? Let's see if we can lure all these enemies together. Maybe we can get Bob's brain to just blow up a whole bunch of them at once. The poison effect is also quite capable of dealing with their corpses afterwards. So, overall, not too worried. Need to make sure that I'm aware when Bob's brain comes back as well, because that is also a very good way to die. But we're slowly but surely making our way through this room. Now I wouldn't mind to get a little bit more damage somewhere along the line. I'm not sure. If I had a way to blow up all these mushrooms, I would. If I can get a golden bomb somewhere, that'd be nice, but I'm not sure if that is an unlock or not. We do have 22 coins, but I am a bit more hesitant to actually spend money, although the wooden nickel, I'm curious how that works with the book, actually. Plus this can get me money as well. I think I'll try it, because now we have a big coin in our book right there. If I use it, it's going to create a very small flame with a coin inside of it, and maybe that'll give us money when the flame goes out. So I might actually try. Plus, every time a room is over, I will also just create an extra flame there, which is nice. But I might actually try to get these flames extinguished on purpose to get a little bit more money out of it as well. But only when I'm feeling confident enough to do so. However, I could use my 14 soul hearts as well to maybe create some good stuff there also. Let's see if we can blow up one of these next to that wall. There's not a super secret room there. There is an AWAS rune, which is kind of nice, I suppose. And there is an ambulance driving by that is hopefully not going to be audible in the video. Surprisingly, that car from the other day wasn't audible either, so who knows anymore. But yeah, that super secret room, not terrible. It gave us a couple more coins. We have a couple more soul hearts as well, so if I so desired, I could just create 18 flames right now, which would deal some decent damage, but rather, I would like to use Bob's brain here to just deal some good starting damage. Immediately went to the phase with one of the eyes, so that is kind of nice. Just need to be careful with the tears that he shoots. Because I think the tears can also destroy the flames after all, so want to be somewhat careful with that. But Bob's brain is really the main source of damage right now, which is always a worrying sight. It's not really the situation you want to be in. Didn't get a devil deal as was expected. We also get half soul hearts now because we have unlocked the... I think it's because we unlocked everything as terrible. And that now drops half soul hearts rather than full ones. And they count as 1 soul heart for the item thing. So that's kind of nice. With that, I think I will just go to the next floor. I do need to remember that I am holding 2 cards and I can switch between them using either the control button on my keyboard or the RT button on my gamepad. I will choose the latter for this particular run and all other runs because I just like playing on gamepad really. But whatever works. This is not a bad trinket, especially when you don't have anything, because now all these spike rocks are no longer going to have spikes. The curse rooms are going to be free. Sacrifice rooms will no longer work while I'm holding this, but you also have these spikes in the floor that disappear. There is just a whole bunch of spikes currently no longer being spiky. So all in all, that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Let's just blow up a couple mushrooms there. Another speed down pill, which is certainly great. And yeah, even though the tears that we're shooting aren't massive or anything and are probably not dealing that much damage, it does add up, and it is a lot of tears that we are getting this way because we are just getting more and more of them every single room. So that is ideal. Plus it is a bit of a safety net as well. You won't really have tears flying through these flames either, so it does get a little bit more safer because of it. And all in all, it's an interesting character for sure because of it. But you do need to be careful with every single bit of damage in the game, unfortunately. So there is that to consider as well. However, if we're lucky, we might be able to get an angel room in the womb 2, and we might be able to go a path that we haven't taken yet, at least not in a non-daily challenge run, which would be nice. No greed. There is the eraser, and that is so good on this character. Oh god, okay, yeah, that changes things a bit, because the eraser normally can only be used once per floor. It erases enemies from the run, so if I use it on someone, they will simply cease to be. However, with Bethany, you can also use soul hearts to use the eraser, and therefore you're just erasing everyone. The lucky foot is actually really good in my situation because all the pills in our pill pool are terrible. So I might actually take that, yeah. Let's see what this is. It is an unidentified pill, but at least it won't be bad, so I will just take that. HP up. There you go. Immediately worked out. Probably would have still been an HP up regardless, but I'm happy to have that safety net, I suppose. Now, it kind of depends what you want to erase as well, because bosses are usually not really worthwhile. Plus you need to, if you want to erase a boss, it needs to be on the last hit that you deal to a boss, whereas with regular enemies, you can just throw the eraser at it and they will simply be gone. Now with Bethany, it also creates a flame, which also erases enemies from the run. And yeah, the combination of all of these things is just wonderful. However, I haven't taken damage this floor yet, so I will just go to my boss right now. It is you. I would like it if Bob's brain is just a little bit quicker from time to time, because it does deal a lot of damage to this boss as well. Got another angel room. We got a health up there. We get holy water, which isn't terrible anymore, so that's kind of nice. Now we'll just blow these up. But yeah, holy water got so much better. It used to just follow you around, and I think when you took damage, it fell on the floor, and now it's just, well, similar to Bob's brain, really. You just throw it, and now it also paralyzes enemies. Alright, you are gone. I missed. And that's really the downside with this item. Missing is bad. But that's that. Those enemies will never show up in the run again. But because we're Bethany, we can just keep using our soul hearts. It costs 1 soul heart to remove an enemy from the run. So it really does change everything. when you get this item on this character, because you suddenly have entire rooms that are just empty. Because of our trinket, there's no spikes, including on the one thing that would ordinarily damage you anyway, so that's pretty good too. And all in all, this run is stupid. It's pretty great so far, and I'm loving it. Let's get that soul heart. Soul hearts are also just so much more valuable now, because every soul heart means we can destroy another enemy from existence. So it's such a good item on this character. Even on other characters, it's not bad by any means, especially if you don't have any other active item. It's just that you can only use it once per floor on the other characters, and with this one it's just completely busted, and it's just great. I'm saving my AWAS rune for now because that's probably going to be a good place to use it somewhere, I'm sure. Now, let's get rid of those. I actually really hate those enemies, so that's nice. Also, the purple flames, I think those will also erase enemies, so that's kind of nice. Those zombies are technically different from the first one. I'm not sure if my eraser actually hit there, but that's fine. I probably am erasing more than I should, but I mean, it does make rooms a lot easier. This one in particular is just nice. There's Magneto, the one good magnet. Means we can get a couple more items here and there if we're lucky. Let's get rid of you. We got rid of their legs, but then I threw another one, and now we got rid of the rest as well, so that is lovely. And in a second, we should probably be starting to find rooms where there's just a brief, like, moment of enemies looking like they're appearing, but just it being a little cloud, and then the room's just over. Friends till the end gives us a couple of flies. But I'm feeling pretty confident. We won't make boss rush, unfortunately, and that's really on me for playing a little bit slow at the start there. But we did our best, I suppose. I could destroy a shopkeeper. I do have some bombs left, not exactly a lot. And I probably could have placed it a little bit lower to take down a couple more mushrooms there as well, but that's fine. This room is so much less dangerous. I mean, like, I could delete these enemies, but simultaneously they don't really do anything, do they? So let's just take this. There is a speed up there. I would like to get rid of those ghosts. And yeah, something like that will happen from time to time, where you'll see like something is about to appear, and then they're just gone. But the little flame also just helped out there. Didn't even need to use my eraser there. Having those be gone would actually be quite nice. Sometimes you just jump on the flames as well if you're lucky, so sometimes you don't even need to do the work. I think I'll take this instead of Hanged Man, since there's basically no spikes anywhere anyway. Could destroy these spiders, I suppose, but meh. Rune Shard. Inevitably, that had an effect. Sometimes it can be difficult to tell what it does, because some runes simply just only work in certain situations. And I've also kind of forgotten which runes I've unlocked at this point, so I'm definitely going to be pretty bad at remembering the stuff like that. Let's get rid of you. It's also a good enemy to just get rid of. And before you know it, we're just going to have a casual walk through the remainder of this floor here. That would also be nice to not have to worry about anymore. Ooh, and those are nasty as well. So yeah, fair enough. Okay, so we got 7 soul hearts remaining. We are running low on enemies that could possibly get in the way during this run, so that is nice. This is not ideal, but we do have a lot of tears flying our way. Plus Bob's brain did a surprisingly low amount of damage there. Hopefully the flames can help out a little bit as well, as you can see. Really, we're getting helped by every single part of this arena, which is nice. Bob's brain is active again, so I need to be somewhat careful with that. But we also have holy water. We did lose a flame there, which is unfortunate, because flames are very important now. Book of Revelations is actually really nice to get, because at some point we need to get the full bandage girl item as well, and that's really going to be the only way to do that now, I think. Unless we get some shenaniganry going on with the recharging items, but that's like a whole thing. For now, let's have a casual stroll through a hopefully largely empty floor. Occasionally we are going to find bosses like that, I suppose. But not even the explosion happened, they just disappear from the run, so it's just very nice. This room right here does make it more tempting to delete these enemies, I suppose, but if we take our time, it's not too bad. It is kind of a shame that with stuff like pin and stuff, it does cost a little bit more time as well. I'm surprised how many bosses we're actually seeing on this floor. But I suppose when you've gotten rid of all the other options in terms of what can be in a room, then eventually they're just gonna have to put bosses everywhere. That's not how it works, I'm pretty sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if it at some point might have. There is the bookworm transformation, which gives us a couple more tears every time we shoot. There is this arcade room, and once again I will just play the shell game for a the big old explosion there, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that was a couple of flames gone by accident because there was a singular fly and I accidentally blew everything up, but we did get another play out of the shell game there, so no worries there. And let's just get rid of you. Really just getting a lot of... It kind of also makes you aware of how many enemies are actually in this game once you start to try and delete all of them, because we still are getting so many different enemies that we hadn't actually seen before, so at least not in this run. So it does, it makes it kind of exciting. This is a pretty fun item, but you need to stand close to enemies for it to be effective, so that can be kind of spooky. And I think I might actually just put coins in my donation machine. Even though that is kind of our main source of damage, let's put it on 200 coins there. And call it a day, because I don't really want to lose all of my damage now that I'm thinking about it. Also, at some point, apparently there's an unlock for actually getting items from these battery babies, rather than just blowing them up every time. So at some point I will actually have to do that, but preferably in a run where I have money, I suppose, and it's just one of those things that we can do whenever as well, so it'll happen when it happens. Lost my devil deal chance there, which is unfortunate. And actually these ones I don't mind getting rid of either, because they are a little bit dangerous from time to time. This is effectively a boss, so that's not going to just disappear if we try to use our eraser on it. Maybe if we use one of the flames, it might work out if we happen to deal enough damage, but they do die pretty quickly as well, so it can be rather difficult to estimate, especially since they don't have a health bar either. Really a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses I can think of as to why it wouldn't really work out, unfortunately. But for now, let us just keep moving on. Free curse room once again, with 0 enemies inside it, as they have all been removed. Yep. It's just, it doesn't actually stop amusing me either when you enter a room and everything's already dead. So there is that reason as well to consider as to why the eraser is just a fun item, because it's just such an unusual experience to be able to run through a floor like this. So it's just kind of neat. The rest of our build is effectively fine, but I mean, Bob's Brain at this point is becoming a little bit more detrimental as we are progressing throughout the run, which is really the case with most Bob's Brain runs, but we do still have the wafer, so it's not like we're going to take a lot of damage from Bob even if we get hit. But preferably I would have had some type of bomb immunity to make life a little bit safer on myself. I'm kind of expecting to lose all my flames during this fight as well, but hopefully it won't be too bad. There is still a couple enemies that are not deleted yet, but I will just live with that. And preferably the eye comes out of there again, because it is pretty effective to have the holy water deal some damage there. You might occasionally hear some zappy sounds as well, and that is the X amount of volt item that I picked up earlier. But we are just about done here. There we go. I kind of needed that to be gone because Bob's Brain was getting in the way. Somehow still got an angel room, but we can also get the negative now. And if we somehow manage to get a devil deal in the womb... Oh, we don't even need to get a devil deal because I have AWAS. Oh, I did have a good reason to keep that all this time. It worked out. Supposedly Dead Sea Scrolls is better now, but I'm not actually sure why. But I did hear it got buffed in some way. However... Habit probably actually does nothing for us right now, and I want to keep the eraser. It's just very nice to have for this floor as well, because there are some enemies still that I'd rather not have to deal with, plus my health, even with the wafer, isn't great, so I'd like to just clean up a bit here. Whoop. Let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of... I'd really like those to be gone, actually. These right here. Oh, and Pin just ran into me there, but actually managed to deal a decent amount of damage to himself, which is wonderful. I think Bob destroyed something or another. At least his brain did. I'm just gonna get rid of you there. And let us move on. There is a bunch of enemies in the womb that simply either don't show up much or don't really feel like bleeding as well, so like the tiny poops there. But then there's rooms like that. And you don't mind not having eyes anymore. Don't mind not having these anymore either. Before you know it, all the danger in the world is gone. Not gonna bother with those, I think, because we'll manage. I could probably look for my secret room as well. We do have 9 bombs available to play with. But yeah, I think we can actually fight the lamb this time around, which is kind of nice. That's another enemy gone. But yeah, I think I might actually look for my secret room there. I did take damage somewhere on this floor, so we once again have fairly low chances of anything good there. Might as well just destroy these while I'm at it. Even though we only have 5 soul hearts remaining. I guess I should probably look for soul hearts or something I like, because that is running kind of low. Haven't really been paying attention to tinted rocks either, so there's a good chance I've just walked past 100 of them. However, with the amount of enemies that we've deleted, I'm not really too concerned. There is my secret room. Bunch of nothing in there, but that's okay. We at least got some coins out of it, so that is going to increase our damage. We could do this challenge room because it's probably going to be fairly empty for the most part. Or you, but we have Bob's brain, so that is, once again, working out rather well. And another boss. That's actually kind of surprising, but I suppose that is possible. Once again, need to be careful with Bob's brain there, but other than that, no worries. Also, I think the holy water actually hits flying enemies as well, so... or at least stuns them on occasion, I feel. But let's use our X amount of volt item and just run around in circles around this enemy as they slowly get zapped. A Joker card as well, sure. Why not have the combination? Stars isn't really going to be as useful from this point on anyway, so might as well have both the Joker card and AWAS in case I really want to have multiple options there. Panic button doesn't really work with this item, unfortunately, but there are some items that are just incredible. It's a shame we got that so late, because I think if you have how to jump, you more or less become immortal. So that would have been fun, but it is what it is. Batteries also don't work with the eraser, you just push them around, so can't really do anything with that. And I don't think there's a hangman card here, but there's not really anything here we can do with that anyway, so fair enough. Also, curse room is free. I was looking... I don't really want that still. On Lilith, that item is really good because it doesn't do the teleportation thing, really. But on all the other characters, I don't love it. But yeah, I was looking on the floor for hearts to see if I should or shouldn't go into my curse room, and then remembered that I have a trinket that makes that choice for me. Which... It's a strong trinket. It's just it's so nice to not have to worry about spikes because there's actually so many of them. And now there is none of them, and that's just a better alternative. Skolix. Always fun. Shoot him in the tail. Also works with Bob's brain rather well. Also the zappy zaps. Pretty okay, but you do need to be able to actually see his tail, unfortunately. And he jumped into the holy water, so... that had some interesting effects. Alright, sure. Not exactly sure what happened there, but fair enough, I suppose. I'm gonna skip this one, I think. I'm not really sure if we're gonna get an angel room or a devil deal there, but... I think even if we get an angel room on this floor, I would rather go down than up. Also, this room. Nice not to have spikes. Also, I think the magnet... is making us open chests from a distance, yeah. Which can throw me off guard a bit from time to time. But we did get a bunch of soul hearts there, so that's nice. We could get Guppy's tail. Which, I mean, there is still that chance we might get a Guppy transformation at some point in a run. However, we are in need of a lot more red chests and stuff like that before we really have a chance for that. Don't think there's a tinted... there is a tinted rock over there, but I don't really have a way to get there unless I can do some really cool bombing here, but I don't think that works. I'm gonna try it once just in case. Would be nice if you could just bomb this sideways to create a little bridge there, but I don't think I have a way to do that. But if in some point we get flight on this floor or something, then we can do something with that. I am just going to remove you. I'm tired of these enemies. Now we are going to get a lot more golden chests now because we did pick up Guppy's tail, so our keys are more or less going to run out as we progress to the floor. But in theory, we might actually get something good out of it as well, so hopefully that'll happen. That's another enemy gone. Don't think there's a tinted rock here again, but truth be told, it can be kind of difficult to tell when your items are covering the thing. But let's just do the entire floor again, because we are getting a nice amount of coins here. That was not really making use of the magnet, or the magnetizing things here. The sacrifice room doesn't have spikes, so you can't really do anything with it. But this room also there's just so many spikes in this game that are removed by this trinket. So even though our damage may not be super incredible or anything, we at least have some good stuff going on. And I am okay with that. Let us get all of these. That's a bunch more soul hearts at least, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, any chance to basically do the lamb on a character is kind of nice, because that is the floor that we'll be going to after the shoal. Because right now we are still highly dependent on what happens after we get a mom kill, and that can... it's just a little tedious, so it would be nice to not have to worry about that too much. There's the tick, but I'd rather not have spikes, as I may have mentioned once or twice. But let us get that mom kill and then see. Maybe we'll get an angel room. Maybe not. Either way, I will be using AWAS to go one floor lower, provided that still works. I genuinely haven't tried this in God knows how long. Now, there won't be any eyes here, so that is nice. We can just stand over here rather safely. And pretty much everything else that'll try to spawn probably won't spawn either. So we really just have to worry about Mom. And yeah, there you go. That's how you lose the possibility of a Devil Dealer Angel room, by simply getting a tear in your face. But overall, that's really not a problem. I don't really have a use for AWAS from this point anyway. That is the mom kill taken care of. Let's use AWAS to create a trapdoor and move on to the shoal. It's a good thing we actually bothered to unlock this ruin. We got Ipecac for beating Mom's heart X amount of times, plus the baby for beating Mom's heart with Bethany. Let's get rid of those. That's an enemy that I really don't mind never seeing again, because they always catch me off guard. Wouldn't mind a little bit more health or something like that. Just any heart containers would be nice, because the 4 chests that you're going to see in the next floor are all going to contain devil deals, so that will just cost red heart containers. And if there's one that's actually worthwhile, it would be kind of a shame if we can't really get it. There's the tonsil, which I didn't know that's what it did. I don't really want to take damage 12 to 20 times, but and again, spikes not being there, kind of nice. Also, these skulls, I think, are immune to the eraser there, because I think I just hit one of them and nothing happened. Let's get rid of those with our flames. Let's just get rid of a bunch of our keys by spending them. Do need to be a little bit careful, I guess, with these flames in conjunction with trying to erase enemies as well, because of the zappy effect possibly causing some problems there, but yeah, it's working out. Really, it is kind of incredible though that our main damage is Bob's brain and holy water, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. That is big spiders gone from the equation. The little spiders are still there. That is a mimic, but not a problem. This is a weird room, actually, because there was only, I think even usually there would only be that one mimic. Let's get rid of all of these as well. Yeah, even the spike chests are getting opened by the magnet, I think. So that is actually helping out quite a bit. There's a lot of red hearts there. Oh, that is making the tonsil actually a little bit more tempting. Because this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That's 16 hits in this room alone. 17. There's another red heart over there, so that's 19 hits. I can just drop this trinket to make that work. I can create a small bridge here because these spiky rocks no longer have spikes. I wonder if they get their spikes back, actually, if I drop the trinket after bombing them. Because that's kind of a weird order of events for things to happen, I suppose. But yeah, I might just take some very deliberate damage to create a familiar. But simultaneously, I don't know if I can be bothered. It does take a minute to get all that done, I suppose. I am kind of tempted to just use my Joker card, though. Even though there's a good chance that if I get a Devil Deal, I won't be able to really afford anything. But it is tempting. Because where else am I going to use it? I'm just going to do it here. We got an Angel Room instead. We got a Tears Up and Eternal Heart. Yeah, that one's on me, I suppose. I should have waited with clearing this floor, because now if I take damage, I'm going to lose that Eternal Heart, and that will annoy me. So I guess I will just try and fight Satan right now, and hopefully not take any damage here. 1, 2, 3. Boop. Mouse Brain dealing with the rest. Hopefully we can do this okay. Just need to pay attention for a little bit, really. The Zappy Zaps might catch me off guard a little bit. Ooh, my god. Whew. Okay, we're still good, I think. Phase 2. Just need to listen for that. Ooh, but don't like that attack, though. This one's a little bit more tricky to dodge when you're right in front of him. But we're still making it through. I don't think we have the exploding worms anymore, but I'm honestly not 100% sure. Don't think we do. Yeah, they're not spawning. Okay, that makes this a bit more doable, I would say. So now we just have to run in circles for a bit. Not accidentally blow ourselves up. There we go. Alright, cool. Now, because we have the negative, we can go to the dark room. And that will be the final floor of this run. We get the Urn of Souls for beating Satan as Bethany. We get Curse to the Maze, so that's nice. We can open these chests from a distance. The Pact is not as good with this character simply because Black Hearts are not going to be that exciting. This is just still not my thing. And the other two, I wouldn't really call any of these worthwhile. So I think I will just leave all of this alone. I'd rather have the health. So with that, oh, can I delete you? Oh, that's so good. I hate those enemies so much. They take so much damage. So getting rid of those is actually really nice. Usually they have this rather dangerous tier attack that I don't love. They have kind of a big explosion that just hits horizontally all around them, which is not great either. There's just a lot of nastiness regarding those enemies there, so it's just very nice to get those out of the way. The rest of this doesn't really matter too much. It's a shame that bosses are not as deletable, but at the same time I can kind of understand why, because otherwise this would be extremely easy. I might as well actually take this because we're probably not going to get that many spikes here. Do need to be a little careful here because we aren't really getting that many heart drops, which I think is also part of everything is terrible. We should hopefully... Ooh, +1 red heart container for this. That's actually really good. And I can place bombs for the price of hearts, so that's certainly something to consider. Okay, you're all gone. And rooms like this are nice. But the rest of this is mostly going to be bosses, I would imagine. I had a train of thought at some point. Also, Bob's Brain now also gets bomb synergy. So Bob's Brain is going to drop the red damaging creep now as well, which... It's a shame it happened this late in the run, but it does have its uses from time to time. I'm pretty happy about that. Didn't really notice we got Curse to the Maze there, but it does happen. There are several deaths in this room, and Bob's Brain is... Nope, not going to blow me up, so that worked out. Very startled that he was going to. Plus we got a little bit of slowdown there because of one of the deaths there. Should probably be focusing on the Horsemen first because they do have that slowdown effect and spawn a bunch of scythes in the room from time to time. But now that those are all gone, it's mostly just a matter of time before this room is cleared. Just that horse. Wouldn't mind getting a few more items before doing the lamb, I suppose, but ultimately it doesn't matter too much. The enemies that these bosses spawn are not spawning because they've been erased, so that is working out. So that makes this boss a little bit easier as well. I could look for my secret room in case there's something nice in there. There's no red hearts on this floor at all, which concerns me slightly, but simultaneously, I'm sure we'll be okay with the power of Bob's brain and holy water after all. The enemies that these bosses spawn are also not going to appear. So that does make this a little bit easier as well. It just becomes a matter of how long can it take to kill Monstro. And that is pretty long is the answer to that question. But the damaging creep managed to take care of Monstro there at the end. But again, ooh, that's a nice room. Just 2 golden chests. Alright, Tech X, pretty good. Does make life a little bit nicer. I could use that to make flames, I guess, because we're not really getting that much use out of our eraser at this point. So let's just do this. Gonna cause a fear effect. Plus, Tech X is so good. It is still, to this day, such a good item. I'm not sure if the flame is... Yeah, the flame's just shooting tear, so that's fine. That opened up because of the magnet. The magnet's actually working out quite well this run as well, which is lovely. If we can just keep our flames, that would really be ideal. I don't really care about the usage of this item, and I'm kind of looked out there on that super secret room. I wasn't really trying that hard to find it. This can be opened with a shovel, but that's one of those stories for another time that we'll have to deal with eventually. Leaving that alone for now. Tech X dealing a lot of damage here when all the enemies are nice and close to each other like that. Haven't really been paying attention to Bob's brain, but he's doing his work without me getting hit by it, so not really too concerned by that either. And these enemies, I'm kind of happy not to delete them because they tend to do more damage to enemies than actually dealing damage to me, so that's nice. There is the poop. Very good. And I'm pretty sure I just took a red heart that I didn't really intend to take there, but it's working out. Tech X more or less carries this run on its own, but the fact that we have such strong contenders such as Holy Water and Bob's Brain, I mean, you can't really go wrong. Not sure what the... Oh, I used the poop, and that's why we have a little poop fire as well, I guess. Oh, I should have actually just kept that, huh? Because that is going to create a nice little bit of defense as well, because it's a single charge item. And that is just kind of nice to create flames with, but fair enough, I suppose. We can make a temperance machine if we so desired, but I do not desire, if I'm honest. And the enemies that this boss spawns are, once again... I don't think well, maybe I deleted those. No, I'm actually not certain, but I feel like I would have seen them had they not been deleted. There's a couple places where the regular secret room could be. More likely than not, it's going to be adjacent to 3 other rooms, but I suppose it's probably not impossible that it's not. But I'm just going to try a couple places, and there we go. Bunch of mushrooms. Just going to blow these up for good measure. You never know if there's something nice inside. Like an experimental pill, but we do have the lucky foot, so that's just a speed up. Luck up. And a whole bunch of good stuff. Probably could have put more coins in my donation machine at this point, thinking about it, but it's a little bit hindsight at that point, I suppose. Now I will just use this item twice, using my remaining soul hearts to create a few more flames. And now it's just a matter of fighting the lamb. Fortunately, our flames are instantly destroyed, but we did get protected at least once, so that's kind of nice, I suppose. The emergency contact card isn't really going to do much. It holds the boss for a bit, actually. I mostly just pressed it for fun, but I didn't actually know that it would be that effective. Fair enough. Good to know, I suppose. Every time I play this game, I'm learning something new. I don't understand how this is still even possible. Occasionally, this boss is going to zoom towards you. Other than that, it's just a matter of not running into his brimstone. We are getting some use out of our habit again, so if we take one more hit of damage, we can create a flame. So that's nice, but I think we're going to be okay here. I wonder if I get the option for the Victory Lap. Yeah, I do actually. So Victory Laps have some unlocks attached to them, but it does require you to actually go to the lamb every time. And since that's not guaranteed, I will not do that right now, but it is a thing that we'll be having to do later. For now, let us end this run. And there you go. That was a surprisingly productive run. We have opened the gate, and the angels await. I'm not actually fully sure what the gate opens means. Is that the void? I don't know. We'll see that eventually. The angels await is interesting because it means we can blow up angel statues now for some good stuff there. But yeah, genuinely wasn't expecting to do a run to the lamb this quickly, but we got a good look at Bethany right there, which is nice. We currently have 6 mom kills, and we can technically fight Mega Satan now in our regular run, so that's pretty unusual, but so far so good, I guess. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and next time we play, I'll do something else in Isaac, and I hope to see you all there. Bye bye.